What is up, RotoGrinders? 2 hours nonstop. NBA DFS conversation starts right now. Yeah, we're on at 5:30. 5:30 on the East Coast because no games start before 5:30 on the East Coast. My guess is I think they're trying to line up all the I don't know this for sure, but my thought is maybe they're trying to line up the NBA Cup games so they tip off at the same time because you kind of sort of know what you need. Maybe that's what's going on there. I don't know.
That is why.
Is it? Okay, that's what makes sense to me. Because this is the last day.
It's a competitive edge thing. It's because they don't want teams to know how many points to score and stuff like that. So they're doing this completely on purpose. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Get-go. But yeah, that is why they're doing it.
That's what made sense to me. And I have I wrote down motivation stuff, and I think it's real. Well, no teams in the back end of a back-to-back, obviously, because nobody played yesterday. Hopefully, everybody had a lovely Thanksgiving. But tomorrow, I'm glad I'm not on content because it's gonna be a mess. There are 10 teams playing tonight that are playing tomorrow, so there's gonna be a lot of back-to-back nonsense tomorrow. Brooklyn, Charlotte, Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Indiana, the Clippers, Milwaukee, and Phoenix, all on the front end of a back-to-back. But again, everybody's playing fresh. Everybody did not. NBA was dark yesterday, no games, so nobody is playing the back end of a back-to-back. This is the final day for the Cup. The sites did not cooperate. I love a good sprint slate, so I'm actually really excited, Tim, about the DK slate. A 6-gamer, every single game locks at 7:30. And you're going to know in real time how you're doing. There's no trying to figure out, minutes remaining and that kind of stuff. Oh, this guy's got Joker. Oh boy, I got a stiff that's left, so my minutes are kind of misleading. You'll know in real time how you are doing for better or for worse. 6 games, all starting at 7:30, locked in DK. And there's actually a second half of the DK is like a second slate, essentially. They kind of chopped it in half. FanDuel included the last 5 games, included Dallas and the Lakers, the back half of the Amazon Prime doubleheader, the revenge game of all revenge games. Although Luka's already had his first blood, right? He's already faced Dallas since getting traded. He lit him up last season. They asked Anthony Davis, and he kind of laughed about it. I don't know if you saw this, but they asked him, which game would you, because it's the front end of a back-to-back for Dallas. He's coming back tonight. Which game would you prefer to play, the Friday night game or the Saturday night game? He's like, is that a serious question? Are you being serious with me? So Anthony Davis is coming back. He's excited, I suppose, to play against his former team back end of the Prime doubleheader. I believe, the front end of the Prime doubleheader is Milwaukee and New York. We don't know about Giannis Antetokounmpo. We will know before lock because that's a 7:30 game. I think there's a decent chance, right? It's a Cup game. It's on Prime. It's in the Garden. I think there's a pretty decent chance we get Giannis back tonight. But very, very distinctly different as far as the slates. Some people out there probably tilting. Oh, it looks like the Bears have scored again. They're up 15 with 6 minutes to go. Caleb Williams has threw a touchdown pass to Komet. This has got to be the weirdest showdown score. I'm glad I did not play. Tim, I know you were doing the showdown content earlier today. Dare I ask how your team is doing? I'm guessing bad. I'm guessing poorly.
I am so far off on everything. It's absolutely. Oh yeah, except for on FanDuel, I did play 7% Cole Kmet, so I do have an outside chance at making my money back on FanDuel. But yeah, no, I mean, I honestly am. It's like I'm contending for all the low balls on DK. Like I'm way off on DK.
Let us know in chat if you're sweating anything here in the fourth. This is about the time where I think you're supposed to check for a showdown, because at any given time in the game, oh man, I'm up $20,000, but one 3-yard pass, and all of a sudden I'm breaking even. Yes, that's how showdown goes sometimes. Hit that like button, do subscribe, turn on those notifications. What's up, chat? Hit the like button, do the things. Also, it is a Film Friday. We want to give away a week free of RG Premium. How do we do that? Well, you tell me what film I'm talking about. Where would you tell me? In the Discord channel, rotogrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. Most of our Discord channels are free. That, of course, is a free channel. Again, rotogrinders.com/Discord, live stream chat channel. Tell me what film I'm talking about. One guess per clue drop. The first clue is already scrolling. Producer Steve's all over it. It is Wheel. Wheel is our first clue.
Wheel Wednesday?
What? No. We did have Wheel Wednesday. Yes, correct. But it's a carryover, I suppose, indirect. But the first clue today is Wheel for Film Friday. As far as some injuries we're waiting for, I did mention the Giannis thing is kind of a big deal. Certainly waiting on that. Let me hit the. We should have got a new injury report at 5:30 from the NBA. Let me get the most recent. Yeah, okay. So Vucevic is still questionable. Nikola, which is kind of important there for Chicago. Patrick Williams also questionable. He drew the start last time in lieu of Jalen Smith. I know we all were liking Jalen Smith, and he wasn't terrible, but I think he kind of barely got the 20 or 21 points, and he wasn't the lock and load that we thought he would be. We'll see how that goes. I think there's a pretty good chance Vucevic actually plays, so it doesn't matter, but something we will keep our eye on. Kevin Huerter is also questionable. Not that big a deal. The Zinger, Porzingis midday downgrade. He had the fish. He's not feeling particularly well, so he's questionable for Atlanta. What else are we monitoring? We mentioned Giannis. Giannis is a big deal with his abductor. He's questionable. We'll know. Paul George is questionable, probably highly questionable. Keyshawn George is questionable for Washington, which I guess is fairly important. A really big one, I think, is Nembhard. Nembhard is questionable with his quad because as of right now, TJ McConnell, Timothy John is projecting really, really well. If Nembhard is out, TJ McConnell will project to be probably, I imagine, the best point per dollar play on the slate. So he's already a good play, and he would become an immensely popular play if we happen to lose Nembhard. Otherwise, midday downgrade for Marcus Smart. That doesn't really matter. Yeah.
You mentioned Paul George.
Yeah, he's questionable. I would lean out, but yeah, he's questionable. McCain is in for what it's worth there for Philly. Edgecombe, of course, still out. Embiid, I believe he's practiced once or twice, but he's not playing tonight once again with his knee. Yeah, overall thoughts. I think one of the big things, and we'll talk about FanDuel as best we can. If we, of course, crunch time's going to be all over it. We got TJ Zwarych as well as Kirkwood, Kirk D's coming in, taking you guys home all the way up to 7:30. But, we'll do our best to sort of discern FanDuel from DK. But FanDuel, the player pool is almost twice as big. So, yeah, be aware of that. And we'll discuss that as we progress going game by game. But do you have any big overall general thoughts, Tim?
I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, it's completely different between the two sites tonight. Like, it's completely different, build. It's obviously, like you said, twice the amount of player pool between players in the pool between FanDuel and DraftKings here. Yeah, I mean, not a ton. I mean, we should get all the info that we needed for DK. It's all 7:30. It's all right there. So, I mean, it's basically Giannis. We got some Pacer stuff, I guess, as well. Did you mention Keyshawn?
Yeah, he's questionable as well.
Okay. Yeah. Because, I mean, do we think that there's – I mean, I just really like that game. So I've just been kind of looking at that game quite a bit because we're obviously going to be getting to a ton of Pacers. So I was just kind of looking at potential runbacks for the Wizards. So I was kind of looking more closely at that game. Just
the last Washington game was nuts. Not to cut you off, but that was insane. CJ McCollum dropped 40 or 50 or so on the bucket. I believe that was the game where Kyle called out CJ. He liked Kyle, CJ a good bit. Jalen Johnson was super chalky and he was terrible.
Porzingis is out.
Okay, yeah. All right. No Zinger means I guess Johnson's going to project better. Okongwu's going to project better. Those are the two guys that are going to get the bumps.
It's a really nice if-then that we have with Porzingis out. I mean, Jalen Johnson projects now for 52 DK, 50 FanDuel. So
that's a lot.
Yeah.
So should I mention the motivation stuff? I think that's the big thing for me, and you don't really know, but Cleveland's one of the more important ones because Cleveland. I wrote this stuff down. So Cleveland is incentivized to run it up. They can't win their bracket. They can't win their group, but they can get the wild card. And there's a chance. So the benefit of that is if Cleveland's up by 50, we saw this before with Boston last year. I think we saw Cleveland do this as well in a previous year. This is typically the time it happens, like the last game of the group, and you kind of sort of know what you need to get. And that's why they're playing at the same time. But if Cleveland's up like 17 or so with 3 or 4 minutes to go, there's a better chance than typically that Donovan Mitchell is still going to be out there, that Mobley's still going to be out there trying to, work some point differential stuff. As is, we'll talk about Phoenix. Well, it's a weird one because Phoenix and OKC play a winner-take-all game, and Phoenix is a 15-point dog. But Phoenix has not lost. Both those teams have not lost in their group. So theoretically, Phoenix just got to win and they move on. Now they have to beat OKC, which is pretty tough because they don't lose. They lost once, but whatever. They don't lose. But also the Suns are incentivized because of point differential. They can still move on if they don't get completely shellacked. So they might keep like guys like Booker out there a little bit longer, even if the game's like a 20-point game.
So you're saying bet the 16 points. Take the 16 points.
Well, I mean, does OKC care about the tournament? I don't know.
I would think not. I would think at this point they don't care. They don't need this stuff.
They just won the championship last year. I feel like, and again, this is like, just me guessing. Teams like Phoenix, teams like Detroit, Orlando, teams on the come up. More so Detroit and Orlando, not so much Phoenix, but they're not as bad as we thought they would be. I feel like those are the teams that kind of want it more, if you want to phrase it that way. And like Detroit and Orlando, which kind of leads to one of my overarching points, they play in a winner take all. So Detroit plays against Orlando, the winner moves on, and I think we're going to get tighter rotations in that game. I think. You don't know this stuff for sure. New York also, if they win tonight, they win the group as well, the Knicks. So again, I think that's important. Denver and the Spurs, winner moves on, and the loser guaranteed out because the loser would have 2 losses. So that's another one. Denver and the Spurs, if you win, you're moving on. And the loser has no chance to move on because all those teams are everybody in that group has 2 losses, with the exception of Denver and the Spurs, who one of those teams is going to get a win and the other team's going to get 2 losses. So I think this stuff kind of matters. And if nothing else, I'm using it as tiebreakers, Tim. And I think Detroit's going to play a little bit of a tighter rotation tonight. I assume they will. And Orlando, I imagine so as well. Because like Detroit, we've seen like Jalen Duren playing 28, 29 minutes. Maybe he gets 31, 32. Maybe K gets 37, 38, 39 as opposed to his 36. But that's kind of, that I was writing about that today in the survey, and that was sort of like my edge, how I'm dealing with the slate. And that's going to be my approach. You can't project it, but I also think there's a decent chance of seeing that. Anything else?
Yeah.
What do you got?
No. I think that's a really good breakdown. I mean, it definitely there's a lot of factor tonight. Even though we don't have a ton of news, there's a lot of that play-in stuff that we have to factor in here. I think that was like, it's only for FanDuel, but I thought that was a really interesting thing about the Suns that you talked about that game. So because I initially had the Suns just completely crossed off, which I might still do. I might still do that.
It's not for the Thunder, yeah.
No, I know. I might still completely exclude them, but still, like that is an interesting point about them.
What is their plus minus? The Suns, yeah. So they're plus 35 right now, and they're going to get most likely they're going to get another loss, right? Or their first loss, they'll be 3-1. But like if you sort of do the math on it, yeah, they're plus 35. The other one-loss teams, the Grizzlies are 15 is their plus minus. The Spurs are 23. The Nuggets are 27. So they have to kind of like be better than them. But one of those teams is going to win between Denver and San Antonio. The other team's going to get 2 losses, so they'll be out. That doesn't matter. Just the point is that the Suns, even if they lose tonight, they're not out of it, and they're probably going to lose. So I could see them keeping their guys out there just a little bit longer, even if they're getting shellacked. We did have the Porzingis projection already, or the lack of Porzingis. Hit the refresh.
It's already been updated.
Yeah, it just popped up, so I'm hitting refresh now. I want to see how things change, but I imagine Jalen Johnson's going to project really well, like you said, and he's probably going to be like the one big stud that's most popular on this slate. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be close with Maxey. We'll talk about that game, but
yeah,
I mean it's going to be close. It's going to be close between he and Maxey.
Jumped on over the Discord channel. Let's see, no winners just yet. I don't believe for today's Film Friday. It is not the Addams Family or Speed Racer. These good guesses though. It's not Mad Max or Forrest Gump or Fast and Furious or Back to the Future or Thelma and Louise, but some guesses coming on through. We'll drop that second clue as well. Sure, why not? Since we're here. Second clue is star. Wheel and star. Okay, let's dive in. First game. Well, here it is. This is one of my favorite games on the slate. It is Orlando and Detroit. 231.5 is the total. It's pretty high. It's tight. Detroit is a 3-point favorite here as far as who's in and who's out when it comes to the injury report. It's pretty clean here for these teams. Well, nothing new, at least. Banchero's been out for a while. He's still out. Franz Wagner still wearing that face mask. They keep putting him on the injury report. His brother Moritz, Mo Wagner, we've not seen him basically all season. I don't think we've seen him all season long. As far as Detroit, Sasser is still out. I don't think we've seen Sasser all year either. Jaden Ivey, they're saying he is available to play. Yeah, I kind of mentioned this is a really, really important game as far as the Cup. Both teams are incentivized. The winner wins the group. Also, the loser could move on too, depending on. But both teams certainly want to win. How do you see the Magic and the Pistons?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is decent from a DFS perspective. Obviously, this is a fantastic real life game. Cade Cunningham. I mean, we just talked about a couple studs like Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Johnson. Cade Cunningham, at least at our last run of ownership, was only going to be 7%. Like, if that holds, I think that's a really strong GPP play. But I mean, it is tough because Maxey and Johnson are probably quote unquote better plays, but we know Cade has a pretty big time ceiling. So I think he at least makes sense for large field stuff. I think you could maybe put him even in a 1 out of 3, like in a 3 max, but I wouldn't get too carried away with him. But I think he is worth a flyer here and there. I really like Jalen Suggs. He was completely breaking the slate. I think it was against the 76ers before he got ejected. I think he had 34 fantasy points before the half.
He bumped the ref, and I didn't think it was that intentional. It was a weird play.
I didn't think it was either, but I had him rostered in DFS, so I might have been a little biased.
So did I. And maybe I'm biased too, but I didn't really think maybe Steve can show the play. I don't know if Steve can show the play if there's a GIF or something of it, but it didn't seem like he's intentionally trying to. I don't remember the context of it, like if there's a bad call. But yeah, I didn't mean to slow down your momentum, but I think Suggs is my favorite run back for Orlando as well. You can play Wagner if you want to play Wagner. I don't know if I'm going to get there salary wise, but you mentioned Cade. I'm going to be playing him. I shouldn't say this definitively. The plan is for me to play Cade in my main single entry lineup tonight. And
you're that high on him. See, I was thinking, yeah. I was going to talk about Jalen Duren. He's the guy that I was considering playing in my primary single entry tournament. So I mean, we're both I'll play one of them. We're both kind of have the same idea here. 7,800 for Duren. He's the Piston that I'm getting to the most of in Sims. So I mean, it's just the price tag. Oh, Nembhard is out.
Okay, so TJ McConnell is now. It's like one player less. You just play TJ McConnell.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely Oh yeah, like you're definitely getting to 3 out of 3 of him. I would probably play him in 20 out of 20 to be honest with you. So yeah, you're 100% firing up TJ McConnell
against Washington. It's the perfect storm, right?
It's 4K on DK, 4,600 on FanDuel. Yeah, I mean you're playing him without question.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I was looking at the if-then stuff, and I think the if-then stuff was popping pretty hard. Yeah, we had McConnell just projecting him officially for 24 minutes. If he loses Nembhard, they can only play him so much, but he projects really good in 24 minutes. And Mathurin's going to project well, and Pascal's going to project well. You're going to play at least one, possibly 2 Pacers. Walker is going to look good too. At least I am. I think I'm going to play at least one, probably 2 Pacers tonight in every lineup. We'll get to that.
I would say you're probably min 2ing Indy. I would think you basically have to now.
You might get 3 in cash. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean but I mean I would just make sure definitely that you're going to be getting 2. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, ownership stuff's going to be tricky. It's always fluid, obviously, but like you said, and we're getting news coming in, back to back, and 7:30 starts. You're going to have more news before we officially lock, and the ownership stuff will probably be more precise, especially on the DK side. But we're currently showing 17% for Suggs, Wagner at 13%, Duren 12%, Cunningham 8% on DK. And it's just a 6-game slate. You're telling me a 6-game slate, and I'm getting 8% Cunningham in theory. And in single entry, that's probably going to be less because people are probably going to play Jalen Johnson. And I'm not saying you can't play Jalen Johnson.
Well, and you might Cade might even be lower owned now because one of the guard spots is auto take, by McConnell now.
Is TJ also shooting guard? No, they're both point guard.
No.
Point guard early, yeah. Okay.
Right. So I mean, Cade's ownership might have even gone lower on FanDuel. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. FanDuel, he's point guard only. Also, I thought he was point guard, shooting guard over there. He's not.
Yeah, FanDuel's the one side that's really liberal with just giving you all the position eligibility. Somebody's got to write DK a strongly worded email and let them know we need more position eligibility. Can you do that? Can you write them? Can we have ChatGPT write them an email?
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely.
I missed my multi-position eligibility in DK. Like, what happened to it? Who made this executive decision? It's basically gone. I don't like it. Do you know anybody, Tim?
I don't. I'm not connected.
No, that's unfortunate. Anything else here as far as Orlando and Detroit?
I would just limit it to one of those Detroit guys. I wouldn't get too carried away. I would play no more than one Orlando piece either. So I mean, I would not get too carried away. Despite the fact that you and I like it, I wouldn't get too carried away with it.
I do like it as a little bit of a game stack, though. I do just because
really
a little bit. When I say game stack, like 3 guys. I'm not going to get out of hand.
I wouldn't mind going. I was thinking Suggs, Duren, but that's it.
Suggs, Duren, and Cade. Like, play those 3 together.
Ooh. Cade and Duren in the same team? I don't know about that.
I think the minutes are going to – what are we projecting? I'm guessing we're projecting Duren for like 29. So that's kind of what he's been getting of late. We're giving him 30. Okay, so get a slight little bump. The problem is they got healthy, and when they were injured – Jenkins won himself some minutes. Green won himself some minutes. So they're almost like too deep now. But I think they got to cut. And also Ivy came back. I think they got to cut some guys. They got to trim it a little bit for tonight's game. Okay, we got to move along. Game number 2, Cleveland. Cleveland, Atlanta, 236.5 is the total. Cleveland is a 6-point favorite here. We just got news that the Zinger, Porzingis, is out, which means we presume that Okongwu is going to jump on the starting lineup. They have 11 dressing. Jalen Johnson projects really well, obviously. We talk about the Cavs. The Cavs are fully incentivized to absolutely thrash Atlanta. If they want to move on in the Cup, they have to do it via point differential. I did bet the Cavs officially, so I did make that bet. I think 5 or I can't remember the number I got it at, but yeah. How do we feel about Cleveland and Atlanta? And I know we just got more projection stuff, and I imagine Jalen Johnson's going to project really well.
Yeah, I think he projects for almost 53 fantasy points now, which is obviously really, really good. Okongwu at 6,900. One of the reasons why I'm not so sure if I'm going to be playing Jalen Duren or not is because now I really want to play Okongwu at 6,900. So he's kind of right around that same price point as Duren. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a worse matchup, but it's not worse by that much. And I think Okongwu, he's just a little bit cheaper here. The total's a little bit higher as well. So I'm kind of back and forth between those two. And it's also like, do I want to play Johnson and Okongwu together? I mean, obviously I think you can, but it's kind of like, that's kind of a tough decision right there. I have a little bit of interest in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But I don't think I'm going to be getting to him in single entry and 3 max, but I think he's okay in larger field stuff at 6,500. But I mean, Okongwu and Jalen Johnson are your 2 primary plays here. I think you can get to a ton of both of them. Obviously Jalen Johnson's one of the best plays on the entire slate. Cleveland, though, it's a little bit tougher. I think Donovan Mitchell's okay, especially since he has that shooting guard eligibility. So you can play your TJ McConnells, you can play your Jalen Suggs, Cade Cunningham's, whatever, and still get to Donovan Mitchell. So I don't mind him in GBP. But other than that, really not getting to much Cleveland at all.
I just I have some bells and some whistles and some variants added to my stuff here, but I did run some optimals for DK, the updated projections with the new news with Nembhard being out. 4 Pacers in the first lineup. So the 6 most popular players, 4 Pacers and 2 Nets.
Are you gonna poo-poo me when I recommend Jay Huff again, Dean?
Did it work last time? I said Capella's going to be better. I'm pretty sure Capella beat him by a good bit. Not to be the scoreboard pointing guy, but I'm pretty sure Capella.
I think Jay Huff went for a 24 fantasy.
I think Capella beat him. Capella got like 30 or so. And he's also was cheaper. He was cheaper.
All right.
That was part of my argument. But no, you could play him. But I mean, am I playing a fifth pacer because I got to get Jay Huff in there? No. Like he's the fifth most popular one, right? He's behind Walker, behind Mathurin, behind TJ McConnell, behind Pascal. And you know what? I would actually say, I would also argue that Isaiah Jackson's a pretty good tournament play. You should never really know how things go with center for the Pacers, but I'm not going to poo-poo Huff. I'm also probably not going to play him. Good blocker. Give him that. He's tall. Nice beard. I'm sorry. Are we talking about we're still talking about Cleveland, Atlanta, or are we moving on?
Yeah, I mean, we can move on from Cleveland. I mean, you're not getting to any Cleveland, are you? I mean, really?
Mr. Richards telling us that Capella got 28 last game for what it's worth. Or maybe, I think they basically get the same. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't like to be the results-based guy, but Huff was fine. Let's introduce that game. Washington and the Pacers. Pacers still have a lot of guys. They still have 12 or 13 bodies. Washington also, they have 15 guys. I don't know how they have so many players in their roster, but they do. Who's in, who's out? Well, Keyshawn George is officially questionable. We're presuming he's in right now. Trey Johnson's out. Kispert was awesome for the first half of the last game, and he hurt his thumb. So now he can't play because he's got a thumb. We're not going to see him playing basketball for a while. The Pacers, we just got Nembhard out. Naismith is out. Everything else is as is. So let me see. Are we projecting McConnell to start? He tends to still not start.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess he's going to start. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if I don't know who would start.
Who would it be? Ben Shepherd?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking at the roster and I'm like,
fire up Jay Huff.
Jay Huff, that's your guy? Is he going to run point?
Yeah, maybe. Point
Jay
Huff.
Huff's going to run point. Point Huff. Even if McConnell doesn't start, I think he's fine. But I mean, he looks like such a strong play. What is our official projection? Actually, I pull it up. Because he was
for
fine.
McConnell? McConnell's 36, I think.
Jeez. 28 minutes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And if he doesn't start, it'll probably be a 24-minute projection or something like that. It'll still look pretty good. He's going to be crazy owned.
Even if he doesn't start, you still have to play him everywhere. Don't be rattled by that if he doesn't start.
I think so. I mean, if you want to make large field decisions, sure, whatever. But, and just be under the field by a little bit because he's going to be well owned. He's probably going to be at least 50% large field. But yeah, he's going to project well.
I mean, he's going to be, in the $100 singles and stuff, the $50 single,
90%.
He's going to be 80, 90. Yeah. Yeah.
So how are you handling the Pacers? I didn't officially introduce the game, but they are favored. They're favored by 8. They have 123 total against the Wizards. The Wizards, of course, were great last game and good for them. But that was only their second win of the season. 238.5 is the total, which is a big boy total for sure. We don't know about Keyshawn George. Do we have an if-then for that? Do we care?
That's what I was wondering at the top of the show.
I don't know if that really matters that much because they just have so many guys, right? Chimpenny, and they have Bob Carrington and Whitmore. They have guys that can just kind of cycle through, and I don't know if there's one guy that would necessarily be lifted up enough.
So it seems like that's gives small bumps to Sarr, McCollum, and Chimpenny.
Yeah,
but really nothing huge here. If George says it's really nothing huge.
Maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe just bump up the good ones like McCollum, Sarr. I guess those two will be the ones. Those are the ones I probably care about more as opposed to taking shots on Whitmore or Chimpenny. There's just so much fragility in Bub. Maybe one of those rises, but I don't know if I want to play that game. So tell me, the Pacers. I know the news just kind of came in, but how would you power rank the Pacers tonight? How much Pacers is too much Pacers?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to lock in TJ McConnell and Benedict Mathurin as core plays everywhere. Pascal Siakam's interesting just because Jalen Johnson's right there. We're currently getting to a ton of Pascal and optimals, but that's leaving out Jalen Johnson. So I think that's an interesting decision point. So I'm definitely locking in McConnell and Mathurin. I'm probably locking in Jarris Walker as well at 4,300. And then that fourth pacer, whether it be Pascal Siakam, whether it be No Jokes Aside, whether it be Jay Huff, whether it be Isaiah Jackson. I mean, I think that fourth pacer is kind of up in the air. I know that I'm going to be locking in 3 though, just because I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously Pascal Siakam was an awesome play, and this is an awesome matchup. There are other guys like right around there, like Jalen Johnson. We haven't talked about it, but like, if you play Tyrese Maxey and in utility or whatever, that's that same kind of price point as Pascal Siakam. So I think that's at least an interesting decision point. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think you have to play Siakam if you really don't want to.
Well, he's just the easiest one to fail because he's got to get so many points to justify the roster spot. He's got to put up 50 essentially to be okay with him.
I was thinking at that ownership and that price, I was thinking he's really going to put up 55 plus to hurt you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. But I mean, if he puts up 50, no more, no less, he's not hurting you, but he's not really winning anything for you either. Right. He's fine. Would you want him at 50 at that ownership, at that salary in the ownership? Maybe, but it's not something you need, like you said. And probably somebody beats him, like you said, maybe Johnson beats him. What if Giannis plays? Giannis can beat him by 25, maybe.
Giannis he's going through warm-ups at his usual time right now, by the way. That's the update on Giannis.
I think Giannis plays officially, but that's just my opinion.
That way.
Paul George is a game-time decision. Bona available to play as well, and there you go. I'm seeing footage of Giannis taking a jump shot from the free throw line, and he made it. So that's not something he always does. Okay, he must be in good form today. Anything else we should note as far as Washington and the Pacers? We like the Pacers a lot, obviously.
Yeah, obviously you're definitely getting to 3 Pacers.
Yes, and 4 in cash possibly. And I was looking at the FanDuel stuff, same deal. Even though there's more games, McConnell, most popular player hitting my lineups. 4th most popular is Mathurin, and Pascal is like the 7th most popular. Walker 22%, and yeah. So the Pacers is going to be popular on both sites, despite the fact that 11 games for FanDuel. Bucks, New York, 229 is the total. New York wins this game, they win the group. So New York is fully incentivized. This is the Amazon Prime game as well. Producer Steve will probably be watching it and tilting it. We think we're going to get Giannis in the Garden. He's warming up. What Giannis is going to play. So right away, I would just say you can't play anybody else in Milwaukee. I would just say that unless you feel differently.
You don't think you could play Ryan? I mean, I think you can still play Ryan Rollins on FanDuel.
He's 8-3 on DK. How much is he on FanDuel? 7-6?
7-6.
Okay, that's a pretty fair price. Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. If you're playing it 2 lineups, is he making your 2 lineups? Probably not.
No, you're right.
You can play him, though. You're right. You're right to point. It's not a full-on X necessarily. But everybody else, like the Kyle Kuzmas and the Bobby Portises, whatever, Miles Turner.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely not playing those guys.
So, New York. Oh, I didn't give the official body parts. I should give them, right? I kind of mentioned the Giannis thing. Giannis being officially questionable. Everything else that is of note in this game. Well, OG Anunoby is still out for New York, as is Landry Shamet. Nothing new. Tareem Prince, KPJ also still out for Milwaukee. Nothing new. And then Alex Antetokounmpo is not even in the building. He's in the G League as well. So, Cat and Brunson, you can pay up for those guys, obviously. You mentioned Giannis. The big thing with Giannis is, like, how full are those minutes going to be? Like, if you told me I'm getting, like, 32 minutes of Giannis, no more, no less, and nobody's going to play him, which I don't think people are playing him, maybe 10%, right? I think he's interesting for tournaments. How do you feel about Milwaukee and New York?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be playing Giannis tonight. We do have him projected for 32 minutes. 5% projected on FanDuel. I mean, I don't know. I don't hate it. 13% on DK. So I don't hate that. There's so many other pay up options that I'd rather pay for, I guess. I mean, I say so many. I mean, there's not really so many, but there are a couple. Other than that, I'm not getting to any Milwaukee here. Other than Ryan Rollins on FanDuel, we already talked about that. I think we got to mention Miles McBride. I mean, on a different slate, he would be interesting at 4,800. There's just so much other better card value. But I mean, we'll talk about Brooklyn. I think he might be like an interesting pivot off of Tyrese Martin, but I mean, he's risky. So, I mean, but he's the only Nick that I would really mention here. I've been playing Jalen Brunson a lot, and it hasn't really hurt me, but it hasn't really helped me either. I don't think it's the right slate for him. I think that price point is interesting though at 8,800. I don't mind Brunson, but I don't know. It's just point guard is just so low to the value right now. It's pretty hard to pay up for anyone, I think, other than Tyrese Maxey or Cade at that point guard spot.
Brunson's one of those guys that, like, I rarely seek out. He always seems to be like a tick too expensive for me. But he also, like I said, if I land on him, so be it. And I'm very unlikely to land on him tonight, but I'm not going to say you can't play him. Basically the same thing you're saying. Probably not somebody I'm necessarily going after. He's good. He's fine, but probably does not make my lineups. Let's give the people a third clue. There's no winner just yet. The Discord channel. Let's see. Third clue for today's Film Friday. The first two are Wheel and Star. The third clue, Tim, is Meat. Wheel, Star, and Meat. It's not the Dukes of Hazzard or Saw or Interstellar. Home Alone 2 was guessed, not Role Models or Drive or Guardians of the Galaxy or The Circle. And it's definitely not Jaws or The Naked Gun either. But guesses are coming on through. Get yourself a week free of RG Premium. Next game up is the Bulls. The Bulls and the Hornets. This is the one I'm kind of afraid of not having enough of, Tim. Like, there's just some games you can't play everything. It's high and tight. 249.5. That's a monster total. Chicago is what, a 2.5, 3-point favorite here in Charlotte. But I don't know if I'm going to have a ton of this game. And I'm not saying you can't play it, but generic you or you yourself, as far as who's in and out, well, the Hornets are pretty healthy, right? All the guys that are important, all the guys that matter are in. They're all available. Like KJ Simpson's out, Pat Connaughton's out, Josh Green, but like nobody really of note. Now for Chicago, this could change things if we happen to lose some bodies here because Kevin Huerter is questionable. He's got a pelvic. Nikola Vucevic has a right patellofemoral syndrome. That's what it says. He's questionable, Nikola. And also Patrick Williams has got a wrist. He's got a wrist, so he's questionable. Kobe White, he was upgraded today. He's got a calf, so he's good to go. This should be a fun one. And like LaMelo's just not playing enough minutes. Now maybe they just bump it up a little bit out of nowhere, but I still don't think we've seen. I have to pull up the old game log. When was the last time he's played 30 on us? I don't know if it's been since basically the start of the season. 27, 25, 27, 28, 27. He last played 33 minutes on the first of the month. So
I don't think we can't play Melo here. We can't do it.
I mean, the matchup's really good, but like
I know the matchup's good. I know this game total, this whole game is fantastic, but it's like he played. What do we have him projected for? 29.
Pulling up right now. That sounds about right. That's what I would guess. Maybe 28 or 29.
29.
We're doing 29. Yeah.
Man.
And then he takes away from Bridges and Knippel and Miller's back. So he takes all those guys are, they need their shots. So that all the ceilings are taking a bit of a hit. I have a hard time getting excited about Charlotte because, Ball's going to play enough to muck up the other guys a little bit to hurt their ceilings. And they're still asking for full price for Bridges when I think these prices have to go down a tick. There's Kalkbrenner if you want a cheap center, with the Kalkbrenner Diabate game if you want to play that. But I don't think I'm doing that. Of course, if Vucevic doesn't start, if he's not available, if Patrick Williams is not available, I know it didn't work last time, but Jalen Smith, especially.
I was going to say, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with Jalen Smith if Vucevic? What if? Let me ask you this: what if Vucevic sits, but Patrick Williams plays? Does that matter? And what do we do with Jalen Smith in that case?
I wonder. Our if then is all of them, right? It's like all.
Our if then is for all of them. So that our if then is for Huerter, Vucevic, and Williams, and obviously our if then would love Jalen Smith, and that makes a ton of sense. But I wonder what happens if we get to keep Patrick Williams, what that does to Jalen Smith. But it's not like there's no late swap on this slate.
No,
like we're gonna have all the info. There's really no edge here in like trying to like wait around for like swapping to different positions and playing 2v2s or things like that. So there's no news edge here. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the projection is if Patrick Williams is in and Vucevic is out.
I think if Patrick Williams somehow starts and Vuk doesn't play, he's going to project really well.
Yeah,
and of course you can play Smith in tournaments also, but I feel like I should like this game more than I do. But I'm just hoping it doesn't play out the way it's sort of projected. But I just don't love the Charlotte side. I think we're going to get a lot of points, but I just think that the way it's dispersed and the salaries, it's hard to sort of pinpoint. And I don't know, could he put up 55 points in 28, 29 minutes? Does he get an extra couple minutes? I don't know. It is the front end. I think it's the front end, right? It's the front. Yes, it's the front of a back-to-back for both these teams. So maybe they give him a couple extra and send him tomorrow. I don't know. Just throwing the thought out there. But how do you feel about this game on the whole? Or just like if everybody's in, are you just kind of out in this game?
I think if everybody's in, I got to be out. It's kind of a terrifying game to just kind of fade, but I don't see myself. I could see maybe playing some Conka Nipple. I could see playing Ryan Cockbrenner at 4,100. I just don't see myself playing LaMelo, Bridges, or Miller here, and I don't see myself playing any of these Bulls. I guess Giddey's an okay pivot off Maxey in some of your builds. Like if you wanted to take a couple shots there in your portfolio, if you're building out a 20, 20, maybe to get to, maybe cut a couple of your Maxies and make one Giddey, I guess. But I mean, that would really be it for me.
You mentioned Maxey. Let's talk about the Sixers. The Sixers taking on Brooklyn. 221.5 is the total. Brooklyn without their two best players, their two highest usage players. Let's take a peek here at the injury report for the Nets. Let's see. Yeah, so no MPJ. MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. is out with his back. Cam Thomas is still out with his hamstring. They did I thought they called up Wolf. Didn't we project Wolf? I thought I saw Wolf get popped up in the projections. Am I making this up? Because I'm seeing the injury report. He's still in the G League. Let me just confirm this. Is this the most recent one? It says available. Yeah, it's weird. It says available G League on assignment, which is confusing because, okay, he is available. That's what I thought.
You talking about Danny Wolf?
Yeah.
Okay,
so he's available for what it's worth. Just kind of trying to figure out the minutes game. Philadelphia, McCain's good to go. We're not sure about Paul George, officially questionable. VJ Edgecombe is still out. Kelly Oubre, of course, still out. Trenton Watford still out. Embiid, obviously, still out. So Maxey, Grimes, Edwards. For now, we're projecting Paul George to start alongside Andre Drummond. It is an incredible rebounding matchup, obviously, here against the Nets. That's one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. The biggest usage player on Brooklyn when both MPJ and Porter, that's Porter too, and Cam Thomas are out is Noah Clowney at like 27%. And we're projecting him to play over 30 minutes, and he looks really, really good as a cheapie tonight. Feel pretty good about that. Claxton, I think, is pretty good for tournaments as well. I don't know if I'm messing with the rest. We're also projecting Tyrese Martin. He looks really, really good too. He's going to be popular. I'm curious to see how much we need that because now we have the Pacer stuff. So how many cheapies is too much cheapies? It's kind of a star scrub slate. I'm seeing Tyrese Martin still projecting pretty well, assuming he starts. How are you handling Brooklyn?
I know I'm jamming Noah Clowney. That's a pretty easy one. You're getting to him just like you're getting to TJ McConnell and Benedict Mathurin, and like that's another one of these super chalky pieces that you're going to be playing an absolute ton of here. I was going to be getting to a ton of Tyrese Martin. Now I'm not saying he's bad by any means. He's definitely still a fantastic play. I don't know if he is strong as some of this Indianapolis stuff. I don't know if he's, necessarily as essential now, but I still think he is, I still think he's strong. He's still a strong value play, assuming he starts. I was getting to a ton of Quentin Grimes before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Now with all this Indiana stuff, he's just not as valuable. I really cannot say to play Grimes over Mathurin. I just think that would be kind of silly. So I'm just going to be sticking with Mathurin in that shooting guard spot. But I was getting a ton of Grimes before. Now, not so much. I was getting to some Drummond, but now with Okongwu at that same price point, I strongly prefer Okongwu over Drummond. But I guess you could still get to some Drummond GPPs if you wanted to.
Bono's really, I don't know how much that's going to muck it up. I just want to acknowledge Bono's around us. There's another tall guy for Philly. I'm not saying but like Drummond still looks pretty secure. Just saying.
I mean, Okongwu is better though. I mean, so I'm kind of out on Drummond, whereas before I was getting to quite a bit of Philadelphia. Now I'm really not. I have not rerun Sims, but it's just going to be overpowering. Indiana and Atlanta and some of this Brooklyn stuff. So not getting too much Philly now.
I wasn't saying there's a chance that we might see Drummond lose a few minutes. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Bona might steal a couple. I'm not saying, again, we're not projecting that necessarily. We're giving him 32 and 16 to Bona for what it's worth. But maybe Bona takes a couple extra. We haven't seen him in like 10 days or so. It's probably still going to be Drummond. I feel pretty good about Drummond, but I don't disagree that Okongwu probably projects higher. I think he is projecting higher. And it's kind of it's a tricky coin toss. Maxey would look even better.
Dalen Terry ruled out. That doesn't mean anything. We didn't even have him projected for minutes.
No. Yeah. I didn't mention him, but okay. Terry is ruled out. I guess
Giannis is officially in.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okoro is also available for Chicago, it looks like. Wait, hold on. No, he's out. Okoro is out. Were we giving him much minutes? Maybe they would go to Dosunmu or something like that. What will we give him to Okoro?
I don't think anything.
I don't think we're giving him any minutes. So, never mind. I mean, he's not going to play, and I guess we weren't projecting him to play. Wait a second. Yeah. All right. Next game. Anything else as far as? Did you talk about Maxey? How much you like Maxey?
I obviously love Maxey. Still getting to a ton of him. I still think he's fantastic. You need raw points on this slate too, and we don't have guys like Jokic like we have on the FanDuel slate. So you need raw points on this DK slate. So I absolutely still love Maxey.
So the chat's give me the business. Hit that like button, chat. Subscribe. Turn on those notifications. So we go live. The player that was just called up for Brooklyn, Tim, Danny. Yep. What's this guy? How do you pronounce that guy's name?
I don't know. I've never even heard of him. I'm just seeing how it's spelled.
Well, how is it spelled?
Wolf.
Okay. Yeah. Am I saying something weird? What is the chat?
You said woof.
Oh, like a dog, like woof.
you said woof.
What? I didn't say
that's all right. That's all right. That's all right, Dean. You can say woof.
Woof. Is it? It sounds like in my head I feel like I'm saying wolf, but I guess am I not saying? Do I have to say?
I don't know. You might have to work on that, Dean.
What's the name of that Kevin Costner movie where he's like just kind of like meandering? He's dancing with something. What was that? What's that movie called?
I don't know. What is it?
Dancing with Wolves. Wolves.
What
do you call
Dancing with Wolves?
Okay. I don't know if I don't say wolf and wolf. Maybe I say it the same. I might say it the same.
Vucevic is in.
Okay, that's what I figured. We were wasting time on that. Spurs, Denver, fourth clue for today's Film Friday. It is clean, wheel, star, meet, and clean. That is your first four clues. I don't think we have. It's not Magic Mike. It's not Rocky. I'm pretty sure we know the winner. It's not Bull Durham. It's not Dancing with Wolves or Dancing with Wolves. Either one. Or Revenge of the Nerds or Porky's. To those guests back to back, which is kind of funny. Or Ratatouille or the menu. It's none of those. But get in that Discord channel. Get yourself a week free of RG Premium. Spurs, Denver. I told you this is a very important game. Joker really cares. Joker cares about the NBA Cup. He's got to be excited about the prospect of winning the NBA Cup. Spurs, Denver, we're being deprived of a Joker Wemby matchup, of course, because there's no Wemby, no alien in this game for San Antonio. 238.5 is the total. Denver is an 8-point favorite. Like I said, the winner of this game moves on in the group for Denver and San Antonio. We mentioned, of course, that Wemby is out. Besides Wemby, who else is out of this basketball game? Well, I will tell you. As I can't seem to find San Antonio. I keep scrolling past it on the injury report. Why can't I find? There it is. Okay. Stephen Castle. Stephen Castle is not. Oh, I should say this is the start of this is the end. We're done with DK. There you go. FanDuel's including these next 5 games. The Spurs and Denver. Stephen Castle is also out, so it's not just Castle, but Wemby's out for San Antonio. Nobody else really of importance for Denver. Aaron Gordon's hurting. We're not going to see him. Christian Brown's donezo for a while, and Julian Strother also out. So some 2 key players for San Antonio and some like the 3rd and 4th most popular guy for Denver. Do you have the money for Joker is the question on FanDuel, because if you do,
easily.
Yeah. And he's also a 12-7. Like that seems too cheap, right?
It's way too cheap. I mean, like I said, you need raw points on this slate. There's so much value with Indiana now. I mean, you'd be kind of silly not to play him. So you are absolutely playing Jokic tonight. I don't think it's really much of a question. I was getting, like I said, I haven't rerun Sims. I was getting to a ton of him before, and now there's even more value. So I would imagine I'm getting to even more Jokic. So 12-7. Projected for 65 fantasy points. I absolutely love him here tonight. So I think this is kind of a don't overthink it kind of situation, unless you want to get really different and pay 12-6 for Luka. That's like the only reason I would be fading Jokic.
How vengeful is Luka is the question. How much revenge does he have in his heart? Also, the matchup's really good too. The matchup's great.
Yeah.
Well. But it's just an interesting, different way to build.
That's the thing is like it sends you in a completely different build if you go that way, which I don't hate, but really Jokic is way safer.
We currently have Joker on FanDuel at 20%, Luka at 10%. I feel like they're both going to go up because we have more salary savers and this stuff adjusts. That's as of like 10-15 minutes ago. Would you agree with that Joker is going to be more than 20% on FanDuel?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to change. I don't mind Murray either. If you can't get the Joker, I think Murray's really good as well. Certainly you can run back Fox on the other side. Somebody's got to score those points. 115 points being delegated.
Don't forget about Peyton Watson too.
Yeah, he seems a little bit too cheap, right? He's got a pretty good price.
5,100. I think that's a pretty good price for him. By
the way, my guy IBC in the Discord channel is on fire. Hell of a week for IBC. Took it down again for today's Film Friday. We'll let you guys know what it is momentarily.
Has Film Friday been properly vetted, unlike Movie Monday?
There's a vetting process, but there's some holes in the process.
All right.
If you want
same person winning every Friday, every week, it's a little. I don't know. It's a little.
If you want to bust out your tinfoil hat, you can do it. It's fine. Yeah. Well, everybody else had a chance to get it on 1, 2, and 3. IBC got it on 4. The 5th clue was mined just for fun, and we'll give this some clarity soon enough. But anything else you want to say as far as Denver and San Antonio? It's really about Joker, Murray, and Watson. Really, Joker. The Spurs. I guess you could consider big body Keldon Johnson, but he's been pretty good of late, coming off the bench. But I don't know how much of a priority he is now. You got anything else to say as far as San Antonio and Denver, or shall we scoot along?
Let's scoot.
Phoenix, OKC. 223 is the total. OKC, best team in basketball. Best team ever? I don't know, maybe. They might win 75 games this year. They've been absolutely out of their minds. Now they are losing Hartenstein. Hartenstein is not playing basketball this evening. Did they give him a body part? I think it's just the front half of a back-to-back, right? No, actually, they don't play tomorrow. Never mind. Phoenix does. Okay. What do we have as far as Hartenstein? I know he was ruled out earlier. I just can't find his injury designation. They gave him an ankle. Okay, he's got an ankle. The season debut of the good Jalen Williams. So, team even got better. OKC is even better. Well, they lost Hartenstein, but still. We are projecting Jalen Williams to start. I would assume there's a bit of a minutes cap there for what it's worth. Grayson Allen was upgraded to doubtful. So, which is always a funny thing to say, but that's the case. He's been upgraded to doubtful with his he's got quads. Dunn is out with a wrist, and Jalen Green cannot play because he's got a hamstring. We talked about this earlier. This is a winner take all. Well, actually, both teams theoretically can move on. OKC moves on either way, I think, if they lose, because they'll get the wild card because their plus minus is like 70, which is insane. But they're, again, best team in basketball. Suns, OKC, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how this game, might want to be a little bit closer due to the cup, but I still just can't get to any Phoenix here. I'm not getting to any Oklahoma City. If you do want to spend up for a player, it should be Luka or Jokic, not SGA tonight, in my opinion. I guess you could play Chet because he does have power forward eligibility at 7,400. But like you said, the good Jalen Williams is coming back, so even then, I'm not so sure. But I do think Chet is somewhat interesting here. I guess if I had to pick a favorite, well, I mean, the thing is, I was going to say Mark Williams is probably my favorite son, but that would mean that you can't play Jokic. So, I mean, even then, I just don't see how you're going to be getting to any of this Phoenix team. Maybe you could take a shot or two on Royce O'Neal just because he's cheap with small forward, power forward. Maybe Colin Gillespie at 6K. But really, but I think that's it. I mean, it's just I don't really want to play this game.
Yeah, and I still think there's a chance that you get the starters playing, the good Suns playing, even if they're getting blown out. But I still don't know if that's useful enough to play them because they still are playing OKC. And guess what? OKC's second unit is still really good too. Better than other teams' second units, at least. We're giving 24 minutes of Jalen Williams, so unplayable because they're asking full price basically. But it is of note that he is back tonight. There are 3 more games. Crunch time's coming in about 10 minutes. We got TJ Zwarych, as well as Kirkwood. Kirk D's going to be taking y'all home. Bears did officially win, by the way, against Philadelphia. If you're thinking about such things or care about such things, if you missed the score, Bears beat Philly. So, yeah, the Eagles stink. The Chiefs stink. The Lions stink. The Ravens stink. Who's good? Who's good, Tim?
That showdown slate was so bad for me. That was awful. I was like, I pretty much finished last everywhere.
Maybe the Seahawks and the Rams, and maybe the Patriots. Those are the good teams in the NFL.
Are the Patriots good though? I mean, their strength of
schedule. Well, that's the problem. You're the third team we think might be good is maybe not good. There are no good teams. Is the point?
Right? Yeah.
There's a few, I guess. We don't have time to get into it, but I had the greatest idea in the world. They're just never going to do it because money's a thing.
Well, now we got it. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know if you want to share that one publicly.
It's a great idea.
It's
never going to happen.
It's probably not the best idea in the world, Dean. It's probably not the best idea in the world.
There are 32 teams in the NFL. How do you fix it? How do you make all these terrible teams less terrible? 24 teams. Just get rid of 8 teams. Because we don't have 32 legitimate quarterbacks. That's the way. That is how you do it. 24 teams. Again, never going to happen for a billion reasons. Kings are playing the Jazz. 241 is the total. It's high and tight, right? We should get excited about this, I suppose, in theory. The Kings are 2-point dogs here at Utah. Dennis Schroeder, Demolition Man, he's officially questionable. Sabonis, of course, still out with that knee. Kessler, he's not going to see the court the entire season. Taylor Hendricks was sent down to the G League because he's been terrible. We've yet to see Niang. Kings, Jazz. There's potentially some fantasy goodness here. How do you feel about Utah and Sacramento?
I love this game. You should be building into this game heavily. Like if you don't have Indiana and Brooklyn and Philadelphia, this is the game you want. So definitely be getting to Keontae George here. I think you could play some Lauri Markkanen. I think Keontae George is a fantastic play here, and I don't think he's going to be super chalky. He's only 7,700. So I think last run we had around 15%. So absolutely love Keontae George here. Love that he's also shooting guard eligible. So I love this game. High and tight. Russell Westbrook, same thing. I think DeMar DeRozan at 6,700. This is the game. Like, we've talked about the chalky games. Like this is the other game, right? Like this is not your Pacers Wizards game. This is not the 76ers Brooklyn game. This is the next game. Like you want to get exposure here. This is a fantastic matchup here. So Keontae George, he's currently in my single entry team on obviously on FanDuel. But yeah, he's currently in my single entry team. And I was thinking about having Westbrook, but I'm probably going to have DeMar as my run back here. So I'm getting.
It feels like one of those like triple double Westbrook kind of days. Like I didn't mean
it
to
does.
Cut off, but
no. I mean, it really does. And I think he's going to be lower owned than George. So like if you're trailing going into these late games and you want a little bit of a pivot off of George and just play Westbrook at $300 less. So it's right there. Like, obviously you can play them together, but I think this game is really great. So do not forget about this game when you're building out your portfolio tonight. This is a very, very important game, and it should be a smash.
Multiple people in the chat are telling me the Bears are good. Can we have producer Steve put up a poll? Are the Bears good? Just very simple. The Bears, they won again. They win most of their games by one score. Was it 8 tonight? I'm not sure what they won by. And they have a great 9. record. Are the Bears good? Are the Bears good is the question. Just yes or no. The Bears good. And then let's see. Joseph said the fan bases are going to burn me down. Yeah. I didn't say who I'm kicking out. What 8 teams I'm kicking out necessarily. But I just think it would be so much better if there was 24 teams. We'd actually have good teams and good quarterbacks. But okay. 2 more games to go on FanDuel. By the way, all the Bulls are in. Speaking of teams that aren't good, Patrick Williams, Kevin Huerter, Kobe White, and Nikola Vucevic, they're all officially in for Chicago. You did mention Giannis. Giannis officially in as well. The Grizz are at the Clippers. 224.5 is the total. Clippers are 6-point favorites tonight. Who's in? Who's out for this one? Or Bradley Beal not playing the rest of the season. No Bogdanovich. He's got that hip. DJJ, no Derrick Jones Jr. He's out with a knee. The Grizzlies, right? John Morant's got that calf, so he's not playing. Everything else, nothing new for the Grizz. This game is not as eventful as the other one, I don't think. Zubac projects really well. He's got a pretty good price. We were talking about playing Joker. I think Zubac's one of the good stops along the way. Harden has been pretty awesome as well, and I don't know how much he's going to get rostered. He's like one of those, a little bit cheaper than Luka. Not a little bit, but cheap enough that I think you consider him salary-wise. But you tell me, Memphis, who's not going to be rostered at all, in this Triple J. You can keep telling yourself stories, but that hasn't happened. Maybe Zach Edey can play close to 30 minutes, a big boy against Zubac. I don't know how much they can run him out there for, but he's been really, really good for what it's worth. But Memphis and the Clippers, what do you got?
I'm not playing any Memphis. I think that's really easy. Clippers are the second slowest team in the NBA. I think they're a pretty easy cross off tonight. If you're not playing Jokic, which I think you should be, but if you're not, Zubac would be the next center in your FanDuel builds, projecting outstanding right now. Basically, optimals are giving you Zubac or Jokic. So he's a fantastic play. Can't quite get to Harden tonight. I get it if you're building out a few teams, but I just think that this is not an amazing matchup. There's so many good spots on the board. I don't see any reason to fool around here in this spot. So I think Harden's just a little bit too pricey for me. It's Zubac or bust for me for this game. That's it.
All right, going to knock out the last game here shortly. The last game of the FanDuel slate. Again, the slates are distinctly different. First 6 on DK, all 11 on FanDuel. Do you want to tell the people about today's Film Friday? We have another winner, the same winner, I think, is Wheel Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, the aluminum hats are going to be out in full force this week. Today's the NBA Cup, Tim, and I kind of tell people every single time, and whenever it's Cup Day, I do something Cup related, and this isn't the cleanest route because, if you've been paying attention, you probably would have guessed Tin Cup or something like that, but I'll tell you how we got to how Cup is tied in to this movie. One is Wheel. Wheel is in reference. Tim, back in the day, I feel like you've seen this before. Maybe you still have one. You probably don't. You might know somebody. Maybe, somebody elderly you might know. You remember the club? Remember people used to put the club on their wheel back in the day, because they thought that people were going to.
I do.
Remember somebody's going to steal their car? That's what that was in reference to. Remember have you seen anybody rock the club? I feel like every once in a while you still see it in the parking lot on occasion. But it used to be a thing 20 years ago. People loved the club. Maybe producer Steve could show a picture of the club for those that are not informed. I wonder if Steve's aware of the club. I bet he's not. I don't know. Or maybe he doesn't know the name of it because I think it's been basically weeded out. So that's what that was. Wheel was in reference to the club. You put it on your wheel so nobody steals your car. Clue number 2 was Star. And this, what I was alluding to is him. I'm not sure if you know this, but in the movie, I'll give it away now. Fight Club. Basically, every single scene in Fight Club, there is a Starbucks cup somewhere in the movie, in every single scene. I don't know if you know that, but there's a picture of the club, by the way, for the people. I don't know if you were not aware of the club. Does it work? I don't know. All right. So Star was a reference to Starbucks, and Starbucks cups were all around this movie in Fight Club. Basically, every single scene, you're going to see a Starbucks cup. Not necessarily in the foreground, but it's there. Clue number 3 was meat, in reference to the great Meatloaf. Meatloaf was in the movie Fight Club. I believe he played Bob, if I'm not mistaken. Clue number 4. Yeah, you've seen Fight Club, right, Tim, I assume? Am I giving any spoilers, sir?
Oh, yeah. A lot. Many times.
All right. You're a fan? You approve? You would recommend it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
4 was clean. Clean was in reference to Tyler Durden he was a soap salesman. Soap, and they were making soap. So soap, clean, that was a reference. And clue number 5 is a reference to the end of the movie, and also just like how Edward Norton, everything's going on in his mind, different things, some truths, some non-truths, but also the final song over the famous last scene, Where Is My Mind, playing the Pixies, the great Pixies, playing Where Is My Mind. Shout out to IBC. All right, Dallas, Lakers, 232.5 is the total, 121 is the team total for the Lakers. They're 10-point favorites, the back half of the Amazon Prime doubleheader. Luka, we kind of referenced him a couple times. Luka taking on Dallas. Now, Anthony Davis expected to play. What is our minutes for Davis? He's got to be on somewhat of a cap, right? I imagine he's got to be on a cap. I'm going to guess 27. Am I close? 27. Nailed it. I just got both.
Wow, well done.
I wasn't
kidding.
And he's 9'5". Like, I don't know how much more he would play beyond 27 minutes. They just, the worst thing for them to come back and get, re-injured. So I wouldn't think they'd push him too hard. But yeah, how do you see Mavs, Lakers?
You're only getting a Luka here. I mean, you're not playing any Mavericks here at all. Like that's pretty easy. I just built a team on FanDuel with Luka and Jokic just to see if you could do it, kind of see what that looks like, and it doesn't really look that bad. You can't build into that Sacramento Utah game as much as I'd like to, but you can still obviously get to those really, really cheap pacer guys that we need tonight. So Luka Jokic builds are in play on FanDuel, but that's really it. Like, you're not going to be getting to Austin Reeves here. I don't think you can. I mean, maybe you could play LeBron, but I don't love it here. I don't think you should be doing that. So it's really just Luka, and then of course you can just fade Jokic and play Luka and kind of have a different lineup construction tonight and play a different center here. That's an interesting way to go about your FanDuel builds. So I think that's okay, but you can play Luka and Jokic in the same team tonight.
Craig Porter's out, which I don't think is a big deal, but Dean Wade is like 20 minutes projected. He's officially in. Jared Allen in as well. I'm pretty sure we didn't have Porter projected for a lot.
We had him projected for 9.5 fantasy points. I didn't see how many minutes we had him projected.
Okay, yeah, so that doesn't change a ton. I still think that there's a ceiling on Mitchell, and Cleveland is aware of their situation, and they're going to want to win, and they're going to want to win big. I think, obviously you can't just push a button and say we're going to win big, but if their foot is on the throat of Atlanta, much like Washington, they're just going to keep. Washington rarely in that position. But they're just going to keep stomping them if they can, I think, because for point differential stuff for the Cup. But we did give away a free week of RG Premium. I should mention you could just buy RG Premium, and now is the time to do it. Why is it the time to do it, Tim? Because it's Black Friday. But tell me in chat, what are we buying for Black Friday besides RG Premium? What should I be looking for? What are the best deals out there? Let me know in chat. Tim, let me know if you bought anything. But I do want to read the promo first. So we have we have prices for individual sports. We have prices for Combo Pro, which is all the sports, everything: football, baseball, basketball, hockey, PGA, NBA, MMA. I probably missed something. Everything with the exception of NASCAR. We're going to charge you the price of just a single sport, which is $74.99 for your first 3 months for Combo Pro, which is a savings of $135. After that, after 3 months, you want to keep it. It's going to renew for $119 and change. That offer is valid through December 2nd. So you have several days to mull it over, if you will. But yeah, do check that out. A link in the description to get yourself really, really good Black Friday sale here at RG. Lock yourself in for a single sport price for getting Combo Pro. And again, you get the optimizer, the projections, the articles, SimLabs, all the goods, all the bells, all the whistles. Tim, did you buy anything for Black Friday?
I haven't.
Are you going to browse, or is there nothing that can kind of blow you over?
I don't know. I'm not really in the market for anything, Dean.
Derek says I'm stocking up on boxers. I'll tell you, Tommy John's got 50% off. And if you want a nice, comfortable pair of boxers, this podcast is not sponsored by Tommy John, but they're incredible. Highly. Tim, I mean, I will give you money back guarantee, but buy yourself some, treat yourself, Tim. Go to Tommy John, get yourself some boxers. They're fabulous. We should have TJ and Kirk D's jumping on here momentarily. Just want to summarize the slate. Is it going to come down to like a 3v3? It feels like there's like 3 or 4 pieces that like, okay, everybody's going to be playing TJ McConnell. I think everybody, I'm using the term, everybody's going to play like Clowney, right? Everybody's playing like 2 or 3 Pacers at least. I think everybody's going to play at least one of these Nets at least. What is the
FanDuel slate's way more interesting.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to playing over there way more than I am on DK tonight, which is pretty rare for me to say. I usually strongly prefer DraftKings.
I just love the sprint though. I love the setup on DK where 6 games are all going, and you know exactly where you're at all times. There's no figuring out minutes remaining and all that kind of stuff. You're locked in, nothing you can do, So I get both arguments. We currently have McConnell. Have you seen this? Our current McConnell projection on DK?
No. What is he? 36, 37 fantasy points?
No.
Higher?
Ownership.
Oh, ownership. Oh, 65. Oh, 75. 82, 83.
80.1 is our current ownership percentage.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen one that high.
That's pretty high. It would drop if he doesn't start. And we'll know that, I guess, in 15 minutes if he's starting, most likely. But he's still going to be a good play.
Yeah. I wouldn't react to that. Definitely, I would still play him regardless.
Tyrese Martin, the second most popular play at 43%, 39% Clowney, 30% Mathurin, 30% Jalen Johnson I think that's what I'm getting away from in tournaments. I think my main lineup is probably not going to have Jalen Johnson in it. I understand why he's projecting really well.
Are you going to go with the Kongwu then, or just ignore both of them?
My mind's already made up that I really want to play either Cunningham or Duren in my main lineup for Detroit, and I'm probably going to run it back with Suggs. Probably. Don't hold me to it. But you want to give me who's breaking the slate? Plums, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I know a play that I absolutely love, but it's FanDuel specific.
That's fine.
It's Keontae George.
You don't have a DK one for me? I'm going to say Cade. I'll say Cade. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it was going to be Duren, but now I think I'm just pivoting to a Kongwu, so I can't really give out Duren because I'm not really sure if I'm going to be playing him or not.
Are you playing?
Like we talked about, like DK's like a 2v2 or 3v3 tonight. Like it's super stale. It's tough.
Do you think you're playing a Kongwu with Jalen Johnson?
That's the thing. I'm leaning no, but it's tough. I'm not 100%.
Yeah. Trying to, because like the cash game for DK or just it's hard to get away from some of the stuff. My least favorite amongst the cheap chalk stuff I think might be Tyrese Martin, but if he's starting, I'm probably going to want it. We're assuming he's going to start. There's some fragility.
He is the chalky guy that I'm not that enthused to be playing. But I'm not saying that I'm not going to play him, but I'm not that excited about it.
They have like 13 guys, one of which being Danny Wolf. Am I still not saying that right? Danny.
You're not saying it right. But that's okay.
By the way, our poll in chats, are the Bears actually good? 58% of the chat say yes. All right, so there you go. Maybe they are. Maybe they are actually good. Let's go ahead. Let's bring in crunch time. We have TJ Zwarych, one of the greatest DFS players in all of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, as well as Kirkwood, Kirk D's. I don't know if he's still Kid Yahoo. Once upon a time, he was Kid Yahoo. Once upon a time, he was leader of the Juggalos. It is crunch time. Let's do it right now. Kirkwood, are the Bears actually good?
No.
Okay.
I think they're just overrated, and they laid an egg today.
Yeah. How many good football teams are there?
I don't think Hurts is that good. Sorry, how many good teams are there?
Is there more than 5?
I'd say it's just basically the Patriots, and then who cares about the rest?
Where are you located? Where's your general location?
Close to Boston.
All right. TJ, how are things? Everything good?
Mostly good. Life's great, but I hurt my hip/lower back this morning, just twisting, helping my daughter put on her jacket. So in a little bit of pain, but we can tough through it, help people win some money tonight.
You got some Tortorol, you were questionable, but you're giving it a go?
Took some Advil, not quite Toradol level, but took a couple Advil.
All right. Tim, anything else before we step aside and get out of here and make way for crunch time? We got some lineups to make. All the lineups, everything locks on DK in 40 minutes. Tim, we good to go?
We're good to go.
All righty, y'all. Thanks for watching the first portion. Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn those notifications. Do not go anywhere. You got 40 minutes of Kirk D's, as well as TJ Zwarych. TJ, take us home.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to RotoGrinders NBA Crunch Time. We got a small, intimate show today, but we are still here to help you go all the way up to lock, help you win some money. I'm your host, TJ Zwarych, joined by Chris Kirkwood. Kirk D's, how you doing, my friend?
Doing okay. Had a decent Thanksgiving. Good till the last football game was just awful. The Ravens really. What a disappointment, huh?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen just kind of looking mortal this year.
Yeah, especially Lamar. I mean, Lamar looks awful.
I mean, Allen 3 picks last game too. Both of them been looking pretty bad over the last couple weeks, and so hopefully we can see some of these teams actually start looking good towards the end of the year. But alas, we are here to talk about NBA, not NFL. Kirkwood, we got 2 totally different slates today on DraftKings and FanDuel. DraftKings, just a little 6-gamer. Everything starts at the same time. FanDuel, double it. We got 6 early games, 5 late games. Not quite doubling it, but much bigger slate over on FanDuel today. We'll start going position by position on DraftKings. We will take it to FanDuel. After that, we will get your questions in the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chats. We will then be going over to the YouTube chat after that. So get your questions in both of those. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button. Curtis, before we go position by position, give me your overview.
Well, we've got some crazy chalk night, TJ McConnell. I think you're just going to eat that chalk because he's just going to play a boatload of minutes, probably close to 30, and he's such a good fantasy point per minute producer. He's projecting like anywhere from like 37 to 40 fantasy points, and at 4K, you're going to need that. So there's that. Then we've got all the NBA Cup games going on and the ramifications of that. I can't say I'm an expert on all of that. I did a quick rundown of the games that matter the most. So I'm a little bit aware of that. And then we've got a fun game tonight. We got Luka against AD. The Mavs Lakers. That's a pretty fun game tonight.
Should be a lot of fun. I do wish that I kind of wish DraftKings just would have skipped all of the late games except for the Denver one and the Lakers one, just so we could have Luka and Jokic on this slate with all of the value that we have.
Yeah, the problem is that we don't really want to play any Mavs because the prices are high and AD now back, and you probably can't play AD tonight because we don't really know what kind of minutes he's going to see. So that game's tough, but the Luka for sure we can play on FanDuel.
Position by position on DraftKings, we will go first. TJ McConnell projecting for almost 80% owned on FanDuel or on DraftKings. Apologies. I just hit the lock button on him in 150 lineups, not overthinking it, just going TJ McConnell everywhere. Even if he doesn't start, even if they put Ben Shepherd as the starting point guard, have McConnell coming off the bench, I don't really care. I still am comfortable with a lock button today. What are you doing with McConnell, and who else do you like at the point guard position?
Yeah, you're playing on McConnell, so just eating that. And on FanDuel, is he? No, he's doesn't matter. Never mind. So TJ McConnell, it's the matchup against Washington, and it's the fact that Nembhard is out now, and they're they don't have a ton of guards. He's just going to see a bunch of minutes. So he's like just one of the easiest plays you can get. Tiny hands. Yes, he does have tiny hands, but he is the tiny hands play of the night whenever he's on the slate and in play. So you got that. Then the guys I like, you probably can pay up here for potentially. So you can fit a couple on DraftKings. Tyrese Maxey, if this game somehow stays tight, you just always see minutes with him. Brooklyn, there's a lot of value on that we'll get to. I don't mind Maxey as a bring back with some Brooklyn pieces. Jalen Brunson, I think, is a pretty decent play tonight. Quentin Grimes, but that's the shooting guard position where you're probably going to play. I know the Brooklyn guys are like Tyrese Martin. You're probably going to play him shooting guard. Cade Cunningham, probably going to be extremely low. What do we – or no, he'll be decently owned. Probably somewhere around 15%. Massive upside as always with him. Not the greatest matchup against Orlando. It's a game that does mean a lot here. Winner takes it all for the NBA Cup for them. So that's the Pistons and Magic.
We're only projecting Cunningham for 7.5% ownership right now.
I got him going up, especially since the TJ McConnell news. It's just easier to pay for a guy. So I think he'll come up, but yeah, I mean, so I think he's going to be around 15%. That's the way I'm playing it. But regardless, if he comes in less, it's just a better play. Another guy I like is Igor. How do we pronounce his name officially?
I don't remember his last name, how to pronounce the last name, but it is Igor for a first name.
Igor Demon, guard for the Nets, just going to have a ton of minutes. He's pretty decent fantasy point producer. He's had a couple of decent games. There's just whittled down lineup here tonight. So you got Michael Porter Jr. out of the lineup, so that's huge. There's just a lot of usage and shots to go around, and he's going to have the ball in his hand as the point guard, and there isn't another really extremely dominant player. So I think he's going to see a lot of fantasy points. So 4,100, I think he's a great play. You can definitely play him and McConnell together, fit them in, and then you've got a lot of value there. So like that. I guess I would want to play LaMelo, and I guess he's okay, but you just get the capped minutes with him, and this is one of the best matchups against the Chicago, so it's a good spot. So you think you have to consider him. Donovan Mitchell, you got to consider too because of the NBA Cup. The Cavs need to run it up tonight, is my understanding, and Donovan Mitchell is the guy who's probably going to be out there running it up for them. So. I like that.
Love the Donovan Mitchell call. That's somebody that I'm getting to a lot in tournaments as well. Mostly playing him at shooting guard, but getting about 25% Donovan Mitchell right now. That's one of my bigger tournament statins outside of the guys that I'm hitting the lock button on. As we get to the shooting guard position, obviously we don't have as crazy of chalk with Tyrese Martin as TJ McConnell, but still projecting for a ton of ownership today. I don't mind the straight line pivot in tournaments to his teammate Drake Powell. That's somewhere that I'm going today. Mathurin obviously going to be quite popular as well, but my favorite spend up here, like you mentioned, it's going all the way up to Donovan Mitchell.
Yep. So other shooting guards. So I think there's a little bit of a narrative. I don't know if any of you guys have been playing Kobe White long enough to know that when he just smashes when he's back in Charlotte. He went to UNC. He's just got amazing history there, and he is back there tonight, and he's probably going to be sitting tomorrow on the front end of the back-to-back. So I think you can expect a pretty good game, especially with they ruled Vooch out, right? Is that true?
No, he's in.
Oh, he's in.
Everybody's in.
All right, fake news there. I don't care. I still like him. So I would have given him even more of a boost with Vooch out, but totally fine playing him. I think he's a really solid play at the shooting guard position. I think you can play Desmond Bane. I think you can also play Benedict Mathurin, as you said, Tyrese Martin. Those two are going to be the chalk here, and for good reason. But I wouldn't, if there's one guy I'm looking to fade, it would be Tyrese Martin. I just don't. I'd just rather play Igor, but he is shooting guard eligible, so I get it. So if I wouldn't fully count him out here, but if you can get away from him, get away from him. Quentin Grimes, I think, is a decent play, 6,200. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a fine play. That's about it that I like.
Steve pointing out we got 20 more votes in the poll about whether the Bears are good. Then people are hitting the like button. Come on, everybody. We got free content. My back's hurting. Everybody's still tired from that Thanksgiving, but we're still here. We're bringing it to you. All we ask is that you hit that like button. Take your mouse, slide it over, give it a click. You're watching on your phone or tablet. It's tougher. I'm sorry. You got to hit the X. Got to hide chats, but we still ask that you hit the like button over there as well. It really does help us out. Kirk D's taking me over to small forward position. This is where I'm taking one of my bigger stands on DraftKings. I hit the lock button on Jarris Walker. It's one of my favorite plays to play. I want to load up on Indiana today, and so I'm playing 100% Jarris Walker.
Yeah, he's had pretty good usage in the last couple games. The lineup, was whittled down a little bit, and he gets the nut matchup, right? So that's assuming why you're going there. Another guy I think you can play here is Brandon Miller. Just came back all of a sudden, from being away for forever and just chucking, right? He's took 18 shots in his first game back, 33% usage and 27% the following night. This is a guy who can light it up. We know that. And he looks good. So like him, and this is the matchup against Chicago. I think Franz Wagner is in play. I would limit. I think all of these guys on our. I don't really know who's going to be the best Magic guy, but I know some of them are going to be pretty decent tonight in this. Should be a very hard fought game from each side here. So Franz Wagner, I like. I want to say I like Bilal Coulibaly, but he's like going to be like their lockdown defender trying, as he is typically every night. So I don't really love the upside from like a usage standpoint, but there are some people out too for the Wizards. So, and he should see a bunch of minutes. So he's kind of a filler play if I need one. Asar Thompson, not really loving it. I don't know. It's kind of gross. So that's why you're hitting the lock button at the small forward position. I see.
Nailed it. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of Drake Powell as well, just like a straight line pivot off of Tyrese Martin. If I'm not playing Martin, I'm usually playing one of Martin, Igor, or Powell in most of my lineups as a salary saver today. But another player that I'm hitting the lock button on as we pivot to power forward is Noah Clowney. I got TJ McConnell, Jarris Walker, Noah Clowney running all three of them in 100% of my lineups today. Jalen Johnson, probably my favorite spend up, but this is a position where I got a tight pool, but I actually love everybody that I'm playing.
Yeah, I tried to think. I actually spent a good 30 seconds in my mind trying to map out how this Brooklyn game is going to go. And the only negative I see with Clowney is a guy I like, right? We know he can shoot from the three. We know he can, he's not scared. And he's probably one of the guys we can count on tonight. The thing is that his good games usually come off of people doubling up Cam Thomas or really sticking on Michael Porter Jr. and that's where he benefits. But now he's going to be the guy tonight. I think he's going to start off as one. So I feel like that he could be pretty inefficient potentially, but I still like him. The usage, he'll have his crack at it, and he's a high usage guy. He's on 4. He's had a couple of good games going back. So I probably side more with playing him, but that was the only kind of little cause for concern I had in my head. Other than that, you can play Walker again. Jalen Johnson, 9,800. I don't know. Yeah, he's fine, but there is a lot of value all over the place. I don't know. What about Siakam? Do you like him?
I do. I'm playing him in my cash game today, but I'm going to be underweight in tournaments. Mathurin and Siakam are going to be the two guys that I'm from Indiana that I'm most underweight on just because of how much McConnell and Walker that I'm playing. But I do still like Siakam. I'm getting about 20%, so I'll be under the field, though. I'll be a little over on Jalen Johnson, a little under on Siakam, because I want to also make sure I'm getting to some Giannis, some Towns, a little Josh Hart.
Yeah. I was just going to bring up Giannis. What do we do with him? I was thinking in my head. I I think we
with
can
this
just
much
expect
value, I kind of feel like you got to get overweight with him only projecting for like 12%.
Yeah, at that ownership with all the value around, absolutely, I agree. And then Evan Mobley, I think I'm out on. I think Mobley's a fine play, like just an average play. I'm kind of out on him because I feel so strongly about Donovan Mitchell having a really big game here. So I think that's the way I'd play it, but wouldn't fault you for playing them. Josh Hart could be in play, 6,800. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, let's go to the center position where I got one stand I really like. Didn't hit any lock button plays here, but there's a lot of guys that this is I kind of feel like where tournaments are going to be won tonight, because there's a lot of we're choosing between one or two guys at most of these positions, but at this one, I feel like you got a group of 5 or 6 players who are all kind of the same in the mid tier.
Yeah. So so you think it's gonna be one? So who do you like? You like Okongwu? Do you like? I love Sar.
Sar's my favorite. Sar's my favorite.
Sar.
I got above 30% Sar tonight. That is my favorite center of the whole group. I feel like Okongwu is probably the best cash option, but Sar is my favorite tournament play on the slate.
Yeah, if you're gonna be playing some of this the pacer value, you're probably gonna want somebody on Washington. Sar is my guy. I always recommend Sar. I just like his game, fantasy friendly. What just happened?
So Shepard is starting over TJ McConnell, but we also have Huff starting over Isaiah Jackson.
Okay, I wouldn't worry about TJ McConnell. He's gonna get close to his 30 minutes regardless. Might actually be even better for him. Don't worry about that. Play TJ McConnell.
I think that's a bump to Huff though.
Yeah, a bump, but it's not the best play. Yeah, I think he's fine.
Because you bump him up to like 26 minutes. That's all it is. Just added 4 minutes, and all of a sudden he's got a real nice projection on him.
Yeah, 3,800. I guess he's probably pretty decent play. Also at the center position, I like Drummond against Brooklyn without Embiid here at 6,700. The cock of the walk against the Bulls. Yeah, I like him. And always like Jalen Durant.
All right, let's pivot over to FanDuel. But before we do, it's perfect time to remind you about the Black Friday Combo Pro deal. It is Black Friday today, and you can sign up with the link in the description right down there below on our YouTube page. While you're hitting the like button, check out the description here as well, and you can get 3 months of Combo Pro for only $74.99 a month. That's the same price as a single sport. You get all the sports for the price of one. After 3 months, it'll renew for the regular price, and the offer is value for 5 more days. So you got some time to think about it, but bookmark that page. Get yourself some Combo Pro at a cheaper price. All the sports for the price of one. And if you're playing NBA DFS but still relying on box scores, you're already behind. Shot Quality gives you the most predictive data in basketball, breaking down every shot to show what should have gone in and not just what did. Right now, you can grab a free 3-day trial just by heading to the link in the show description. After that, it renews monthly for $39.99. Don't play blind, play smarter with Shot Quality. Kirk D's, let's make the pivot over to FanDuel. Much bigger slate, way more variety over here on FanDuel. We still got TJ McConnell Mega Chalk. What are you doing with him over here? And who do you like to have at the point guard position? I can go first, though. I still think McConnell is a really, really strong play over here on FanDuel. I probably would, if not hitting the lock button, try and keep as tight of a pool here as point guard as I possibly can, because I would still have some lineups where I roll out like Maxey and Luka together if I was playing over on FanDuel. So not quite a lock, but I'd probably still be over the 65%. How about you?
Yeah, as much TJ McConnell as I can play. So I'd be fine putting the lock button on him.
Tyrese Martin not starting for the Nets. We have Zaire Williams starting ahead of Tyrese Martin.
That's weird because he was like out of favor. I'm probably not. I guess you could play either of them, but you can take your pick at any of these guys for cheap. on the Nets. So we'll get to that. But McConnell, love him. Luka, right? Who doesn't want to play Luka in this spot, right? Just seems like he's going to go absolutely berserk. He is 12-6, but there is a ton of value. So I think he's a really strong play. How much ownership? You got to have. We have him projected pretty low, right?
For who, sorry?
Luka.
Yeah, Luka coming in just barely over 10%, actually just under 10%. I will do a refresh right now to make sure that is the latest, but right around 10% regardless.
Yeah, you want to play.
Oh, down to 7% actually, which I guess makes sense with this McConnell stuff because you only got so many point guard spots you can play.
Yeah, but so I love him. Yeah, it's stacked, right? You got Tyrese Maxey, you got Jamal Murray, you've got Harden, who's been playing really well. In that game's meaningful for them on both sides, also meaningful for Memphis as well. Suggs coming off of his suspension, right? He sat out a game, right? And then in that game, 6,700 for Suggs is a good price, so I don't mind that. Donovan Mitchell again. Yeah, there's just tons. Like even like De'Aaron Fox. There's just so many guys here. So you're gonna want probably as many point guards as you can get in your lineup tonight.
Yeah, I like the De'Aaron Fox call again. The Donovan Mitchell one again. He's even cheaper here than he is on DraftKings. Who else do you like? It's shooting guard. This Martin chalk looks like a great one to avoid here on FanDuel now that he's not starting.
Yep. Probably not I wanted to fade him anyway, so I'm good with that. Again, I'm going to mention Quentin Grimes. Better price here, plus also better scoring for him. He's a guy who can rack up some steals and blocks, some defensive. He plays good defense, so a lot of peripherals potentially in this matchup for him with Brooklyn. Brandon Miller, also Jamal Murray. This game's important for both Denver and San Antonio for the Cup, so they're going to be playing hard. You can play Donovan Mitchell here. You can play Desmond Bane here. You can play Igor here, who I like at 4,300. You can play you can use him with McConnell, and then there's just plenty of value. I think he's going to get forgotten about, and so and I think that he's going to play really well. I think he's going to absorb most of that usage. I feel like because they don't have high usage guys.
Mathurin, I think the one guy that's like a cash must, and then basically this wide vast of value that you can pair with him. You can take your choice. I might actually prefer Miles McBride though now over Tyrese Martin since he's not starting. Take me over to small forward.
Small forward. All right. Again, you can play Quentin Grimes here. You can play Jalen Johnson here. You can play Brandon Miller here again, which is nice. You can play Mathurin here, which is nice. Lauri Markkanen certainly has a bunch of upside against Sacramento at 8,400, so I like that. Keegan Murray on the Sacramento side. Worry about his ceiling, but price is nice, 6,200. Should see, what do I have him for minutes?
Can you guys hear my dog barking upstairs right now? Because they're going crazy, but if you can't hear it, I won't worry about it.
I've got 35 plus minutes for Keegan Murray. I couldn't hear it, so
good.
I think we're all good. Man, I just feel like something's wrong. DeMar DeRozan just cooked. He just washed at this point, at this stage. Yeah. Like, I feel like he's got some good games left in him at some point, but in 6,700 stands out to me, but he hasn't shown it, so probably a pass again.
All right, take me over to power forward.
Okay, we can play Okongwu here or at center. You can play only Noah Clowney would have to be played here. And he was talking about before.
I block button him here as well. He's just so cheap.
4,900. Yep, I like that call. If you wanted to pivot to him, it would probably be Peyton Watson. Siakam, you can play. Lauri Markkanen's power forward eligible as well.
I've been playing a lot of Peyton Watson lately, and he's been treating me really well. I like that call.
Yeah, he's just getting a bunch of minutes. They're with Aaron Gordon now. Yeah, he's picking up the slack. Alex Sarr, you can play here at power forward. Like him here too as well as on DK. And that's all I like. Giannis, got to mention a little bit of Giannis.
All right, take me to the center spot.
All right.
Get your questions in, everybody. Get them on Discord. Get them on YouTube. And make sure you're smashing that like button if you're watching us on YouTube. We got totally different slates. So get your FanDuel questions in, DraftKings questions in, Yahoo questions in. We got you covered. Anything's on the table tonight. We got lots of time.
All right. So the Joker, we should talk about him. 12-7. Easy to fit now, but there is a lot of opportunity cost some of these plays. But so you're basically going to want him or Luka, I think, for the high-end spends. And then how would you rank the high-end spends? Giannis, Luka, and Joker.
To me, it'd be Jokic 1, Luka 2, maybe a slight edge to Luka in tournaments. I think Jokic is the cash center I'd use now. He's the single entry center I'd use now. In large field GPPs, I think I might slightly prefer Luka just because he's going to be a third of the ownership, like maximum a third of the ownership. Giannis is a far third place.
Because we have like the potential to get 40 minutes out of like Luka and Joker, like
exactly.
If the games break that way. You just don't
on
get
DraftKings where there's no other people in his price tier. Yeah, I'll play him because a 50-point night in 28 minutes, that might be enough on that DraftKings slate. On FanDuel, though, I just don't think it's worth it. I'd probably X him out. Yeah,
I agree. All right. So we got Okongwu again, 7,100. Porzingis is out. Zubac, 7,200, I think is a fine play. I'm not like going crazy excited to play him, but I think he's a decent play. I think Nick Claxton is a decent play against Drummond here. And I also think Drummond is a good play at 6,900. Other than that, you can play Alex Sarr here again. And I always like a little Duran, so Jalen Duran.
I like that Huff starting because now I don't have to play Tyrese Martin in cash anymore. I can just play Huff. And I actually like that a lot better. Who is breaking the slate tonight? Let's go expensive guy and a cheap option. And for what it's worth, I don't think it's ridiculous on FanDuel to try and play Luka and Jokic in the same lineup. Like I think that's actually good.
Let me just see what I got here for that.
How many?
Yeah, it can be done. You're just loading up the value. So you're going to have to like utilize, like you're going to need like all this Brooklyn. So Igor, Tyrese Martin, or he's not starting. Is that the one that's not starting now?
Martin is not starting. Yeah. So I'll just use like throwing in my favorite ones, throwing in Luka. And if I put in Luka and Jokic, TJ McConnell, Jarris Walker, and then Noah Clowney, my three favorite value options today. Leaves 51.75 for 2 shooting guard spots and 2 small forward spots.
Yes, so you can get like
Peyton Watson build on FanDuel.
You can get Watson, you can get Grimes, you can get Brandon Miller. Like these are all like that. The
Grimes fits perfect. Yeah. Watson only has power forward, so with this build I wouldn't be able to get him because Walker is power forward center instead of small forward power forward. But you could do Watson instead of Walker. But yeah, Grimes fits perfectly. And then you're looking at guys like Miles McBride, Igor, any of those Brooklyn's options, Isaiah Collier. I know he's point guard only, but actually a lot of ways that you can make that work on
Brandon Miller. I love Brandon Miller. What's Kobe White on? How much is he on FanDuel?
White's cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. 7,200, great play. Doesn't fit in that specific build, but I really like him as a tournament spot as well. Let's start getting the questions here. We have a few of them flowing in. Before we do, though, slate breaking plays. Who do you got up top? Who do you got down low?
Sorry, what? Slate breaking?
Yeah.
Let's say I mean, if we have to say Luca or Joker if we're trying to jam them in, right? So on the high end.
Yeah, I like that too. Luca is the low owned one that I think is a great play today, and I would on FanDuel. I think I'd play them both. Not in cash, like I would do Maxi over Luca in cash, but in tournaments I'd be playing them both.
And if you're looking for a little different build, I think we still got a Donovan Mitchell still could go absolutely bonkers in this spot.
Very true. Another name I'll throw out there is my slate breaker today. I guess I said up top and down low, but I'm picking a mid-range guy. Alexander Sarr, favorite tournament option today that is not going to be very highly owned, but I think he is just a fantastic tournament play. And for value, I'll go Jarris Walker because that is the one value piece that won't be like stupidly high owned. He'll be high owned, but not like aggressively that I will be very, very overweight on. Let's go to some questions. FanDuel GPP, favorite low owned spend up tonight.
Favorite
Luka,
low
right?
owned, yeah. So Luca, I mean, and I'm cautious, especially like how like everybody wants to play Luca, right? Like this chat, is everyone were they thinking Luca already? I don't know. I would think like your first instinct would be like Luca against Dallas. I have to play this.
It just everybody wants to play Maxi though. That's the thing.
Yeah, you get the 40-minute upside. It's probably 40-minute floor with Maxi.
Plus SGA is there and Harden's on FanDuel. Plus you have Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Booker, Fox. Like there's just so many choices.
Yeah, I guess I'll say for my one guy I'll put a flag plan on is Brandon Miller tonight.
All right, and yeah, low on spend up from Carolina guy. I'd say Luca or Donovan Mitchell was another guy we'd like as well. DK Cash, Mathurin, Sarr, Clowney, or Martin, Okongwu, Brunson. I got that first one in DK Cash, so that's the one that I'm personally going with. Clowney and Mathurin are kind of two must plays in cash. So I think projections will say go Okongwu over Sarr in that scenario, even with like leaving the salary on the table. I believe Okongwu's projected more, so that's what the correct play is. But I'm personally going with Sarr just because I like him so much tonight. What about Williams versus OKC with no Hartenstein? What do you think about the not good? Not the not good. He's an NBA player. Of course he's good. But the lesser of the two Jalen Williams is with no Isaiah Hartenstein tonight.
Don't really love it because they do get J-Dubs back tonight. I think it's okay, but I wasn't rushing to play him.
Yeah, I'd probably like Huff if I'm going to a cheap option there a little bit more.
See, that's a key game too. Thunder Suns for both of those teams. They're both going to be out there trying to run up the score. I kind of like Chet tonight.
I like that call. Maxi or Cunningham? Straight up.
Give me Cade Cunningham just because this is a meaningful game.
All right. Mario Donizzi says Luka going for 40 actual points. How about 50? How about 50? I think that's on the table tonight. Sparks asks, what are your thoughts on Giddey versus Charlotte tonight?
Yeah, I like them. They're on the front end of back-to-back, a little bit worrisome, and everybody's playing like it was going to whittle out. I do think Kobe White, I'd rather play just for the homecoming narrative and the cheaper price, but Giddey is Giddey. He's been producing all season.
All right. Who are your favorite Nets without Porter Jr. tonight?
Well, let's pull them all up. So I would say Clowney, Igor, Claxton. Those are my favorite three. And then, those are the three I like. Who else? Who am I forgetting here? Tyrese Martin isn't starting now, right?
Correct.
And who is? Who am I forgetting?
Zaire Williams.
Oh, it's Zaire Williams, right? Yeah, just those three that I said. Clowney, Claxton, Igor.
DK 5,200 for the forward spot. Who are you looking to? Clowney would definitely be the number one option there, assuming you don't have him already. If you do, that's tough. I genuinely have nobody other than Clowney between Jarris Walker at 43 and Brandon Miller at 67. And so hopefully you don't have Clowney. If you do, I guess the next best option would be like Koulibaly or De Silva. That's probably the best guys there. And so Koulibaly or De Silva, probably Koulibaly if you have a bunch of Indiana players, but that's only if you already have Clowney somewhere else. If you don't, it's absolutely him. On FanDuel, will Huff be the optimal center because of salary over Joker? Probably not. He's a good point per dollar play, but we have so much value that I think Joker is the guy in that spot. Mitchell or Maxey, DK GPP?
Mitchell.
Like that call for tournaments today. Okongwu or Drummond for DraftKings tournaments? Who do you like?
Probably Drummond for tournaments.
I have TJ McConnell in cash. I have TJ McConnell in my 150 max set, but in the one tournament that's 100K to first, I think I'm just going to fade TJ McConnell in that lineup. So I said I had 100%. I got him in 100%, except for the one with the most money up top, just in case, because I got him absolutely everywhere else. What do you think about Josh Hart tonight? Butthole Jenkins says he really fills the stat sheets up across the board, and he has actually been playing some really great basketball recently.
Yeah, I think I mentioned him for guys you can consider tonight. So I like him just for those reasons, and that's my man Butthole. So if he says he likes him, then yeah, you gotta play him.
What do you think about a full Washington and Indy game stack? 3 Indy, 3 Washington, mixed in with Jalen Johnson and Drummond. How do you feel about that as a build?
I think it's legitimate. I mean, there's a lot of value on each side. So yeah. Maybe two Washington.
Powell over Martin. Don't mind that at all. What do you think about Williams from Phoenix? Mark Williams against OKC.
He's going to get cooked on tonight. So I think he's okay. I'm downgrading him tonight in this matchup. He's been awesome though. The Suns need every point, but I feel like it's going to be like just Booker going crazy.
FanDuel cash, Mathurin or Miller. From a cash perspective, it's Mathurin, but Miller, a great tournament play.
Yep.
On DraftKings, Mitchell and Zaire Williams or Fox and McConnell. Or sorry, FanDuel, Mitchell and Zaire Williams or Fox and McConnell.
I'd go Fox. Like Fox is going to be low owned, so I'd go. So I wouldn't worry about having McConnell. I think there's much more upside with Fox and McConnell.
Agreed. Duran or Sarr, DK single entry. I really like, both of us really like Alexander Sarr tonight. What do you think about Jalen Wells as a pivot off of the Brooklyn chalk?
Memphis needs it. They're going to have a tough go. Not in love with that.
All right.
Although you could sell me on some Triple J for sure.
Duran or Sarr single entry. We just said that one. That was Sarr. Speaking of Hart or Claxton as your last piece.
Probably lean Claxton, but I think they're both good plays.
All right. Let's see. Next one. Jalen Brunson or LaMelo Ball on DraftKings.
Jalen Brunson for me. I just hate those minutes out of Ball.
Hart or Drummond, DK utility.
Drummond.
And then is it okay to play Kobe White and Giddey together in a DK GPP?
I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be getting there either. On FanDuel, Suggs or Vassell or another shooting guard at 67 or less. Who do you got?
Suggs.
Yeah, I think I like Suggs there as well. You want to pivot maybe a Con Knipple, but I think Suggs would be my preferred option. I think that's all the basketball questions. We have hit it. Someone asked thoughts on Brunson. We just gave that. Not terrible, but prefer him over the other. But we don't prefer him over the other guys in that range, like a Donovan Mitchell, a Fox, et cetera, et cetera. Is Huff better than Jokic in today in GPPs? No, we said we preferred Jokic on that one already. Done all the basketball questions. So what do you think? QQ leftover. Osid, relax. We've answered this question 3 times. Stop spamming the chat. QQ leftover turkey sandwich with mayo or gravy?
Well, it depends. Are you putting like stuffing on it, or are you just having a turkey sandwich? If you're just having a turkey sandwich, I'm going to go with mayo for sure, with lettuce, whatever. But it depends. If you're doing like a Thanksgiving one, you're putting either like yams or stuffing or whatever the hell else you had, you got to go gravy.
Yeah, I think that adds up. No qualms there from me. We've hit all the questions. We got a fun little sprint slate on DraftKings today, and on FanDuel, we got obviously a lot more. Good luck tonight, everybody. You'll see Kirk and I again tomorrow for Tournament Take Show for some this weekend's football, and then of course we got a fun full slate for you on Sunday as well. Thank you so much for tuning in today, everyone. On behalf of myself, Kirk Dees, and Steve working hard behind the scenes, we will see you next time. Peace.
Woo!